Richard Hale had never been told no, not by CEOs, not by rivals, and definitely not by a barefoot girl in a faded blue dress standing on marble floors. $600? He boomed, disbelief sharp in his voice. Do you know who I am? I spend more than that on lunch. The room chuckled. Softly powerful people under glittering. Chandeliers exchanging amused looks, but the girl stood. Firm. My price is 600, she said. Quietly, and I speak. Dutch, Richard snapped his fingers. Security. Get this street kid out of my sight. Whispers spread. Where's her mother? How did she get in here? Then she turned to the old man at the far end, spoke flawless Dutch. The laughter stopped. Cold 3 hours earlier, 12-year-old Rachel Lewis sat on her bed. Rain tapping against a cracked window. Their apartment was small, but filled with memories, especially of her father. Her knitstand held an old radio each night. She tuned it for voices from faraway places, French, German, Spanish sometimes, if the signal was clear. Dutch, her father, had taught her that every language has a heartbeat. Once you hear it, the words will come. He said Marcus Lewis was a brilliant interpreter, fluent in 7 languages, always learning more. When he died suddenly, Rachel was 6 that morning. He taught her good morning in Dutch that evening. He was gone. She remembered his voice more than his face and promised to learn every language he loved by 9. She read French newspapers by 11, helped her mother with documents she didn't understand by 12. Fluent in 5 languages, but none of that paid the rent. The night before the gala, Rachel overheard her mother's desperate plea on the phone. Please. Just one more week, $600. That's all I need. The next day, Rachel followed her mother to the Grand Metropolitan Hotel, marble floors, diamond earrings, suits worth more than their rent, and a crisis. A Dutch billionaire was about to walk away from an $80 million deal. No interpreter, 10 minutes left. Rachel's heart raced. Dutch she knew. Dutch, her mother, tried to pull her back, but Rachel stepped forward in the ballroom. The investor leaned in. She speaks with precision, he said. We begin now. Richard Hale's confidence cracked. Rachel translated everything: contracts, conditions, jokes, warnings. She didn't soften the truth. She carried every word carefully, and as she spoke, Richard saw someone else, his mother, a woman who worked herself to exhaustion, never accepting charity, who taught him value isn't given, it's claimed. Somewhere along the way, he had forgotten. The deal closed. The room emptied. Richard pulled out a thick stack of cash, $6,000. He said, You earned it. Rachel shook her head. I only need 600. He froze. Why turn down more? She met his gaze steady and unafraid. My father said, people who give more than you ask often want control. I sold you my skill for 1 hour and not for sale. For the first time in decades, Richard Hale felt small slowly. He counted out 6 bills, handed them to her. That night, Rachel placed the money on the kitchen table. Rain fell softly outside, just like before, but everything had changed, not because of money, because she knew her worth. If Rachel's story inspired you, subscribe to Lonja. Tales for more stories about quiet strength and earned power.